What's up YouTube? Cue Ball here for Cue Ball's Reef. So today we're going to be making a new sump. Thank you Petco for your $1 per gallon sale. We're going to turn this bad boy into a custom sump. Stay tuned. So if you've been following my channel, you've seen my sump already. It's a 15-gallon aqueon sump over my 72-gallon tank. The sump is coming up on a year old and I never really liked it. I kind of threw it together. It was my first DIY build on a sump. The baffles were made out of real cheap acrylic. I didn't measure properly, so all the angles were off, all the sizes were off, everything was just off. So what I decided to do, I was waiting for the $1 per gallon sale from Petco to come around again. Today was the day, so I went and picked up a new 15-gallon tank and some acrylic, some silicone, all the parts I'll need to get this build right. What I want to do with this bad boy is put in a chamber where my water flows down, build a skimmer section, a refugium section in the middle, and then my return chamber. So how we're going to do that is with a lot of time, and hopefully things come out all right in the end. Alright, so what we've done, took some cardboard, cut it up just to make kind of some mock templates as far as where everything's going to go. So we'll have a drain hose coming in. It's going to flow over this first baffle into this little guy, which will have sponge, other mechanical media. And then it'll flow from this. I'm going to have cutouts at the bottom so the water can flow. This will be my skimmer section. I already have my skimmer in here, kind of measuring it out, making sure it'll fit. Then it'll flow into a refugium section. And then we will have some more sponge just to kind of polish the water before it heads into the last chamber, which will be the return section. So that's what we're looking at so far. Now obviously these aren't cut to size, but it just gives me an idea of where each baffle is going to go, and then I'll have to worry about height and water levels as we move along. So that is step one. Alright, so here we go. 24 hours has passed. All of my silicone is well set. My first chamber, this will be the skimmer section, refugium, some polishing, and finally the return section. And I haven't decided yet. I might add an extra shelf in here. All I did was put some egg crate down in there, use some styrofoam just to hold it in place, and I'll have these polishing pads and probably some charcoal. Everything nice and sturdy. This should hold water nice. So only thing left to do now is get some water in here, make sure everything's sealed up tight, and give it a wet test before we actually install it under the tank. Alright, here we go with the test run, adding water. Liking the overflow so far. Chamber 1. Water going in, running over the box completely, which is nice. Heading into chamber 2. Chamber 3 is filling up. And I have chamber 3 measured to 8 inches, which should allow for my skimmer to be just about in the right amount of water. And we're about to spill over into the last chamber here. Spilling over. So far, so good. Alright, so water going in, flowing in the second chamber, through the 3 holes, into the refugium, all constant water level, and then in my last chamber there, water flowing over the baffle, which will go through my chemical media and probably some filter pads, something like that, just to polish the water before it gets back to the return chamber. And back into the first chamber, and the cycle repeats. So, I would call this a successful test. Water is holding nicely in each chamber. Obviously, this last chamber I can set to whatever water level I want. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit higher just to make sure that the water is getting filtered by my chemical filtration in this section here and then out. Boy, is that pump loud. Guess that's why I don't use it. So anyway, finished product. Happy to say. My own sump. Alright, Cue Ball signing out. If you like what you see, hit that like button, subscribe. Cue Ball's Reef, future videos coming. Catch you on the next one. Alright, so finished product. Looking good. Water flowing in, over the baffle, into the mechanical filtration, over into the skimmer, skimming nicely. Some Chato over the third baffle, into the polishing, and out. So, very happy with the way this turned out. Again, my first actual custom build. I did add a piece of styrofoam to hold my tubing in for my dosing pumps, and added a Corellia air or power head back there just to kind of keep the Chato moving, keep the detritus flowing in my refugium section. And I do have my light back there, which doesn't normally sit there, but it's just a little too bright. It sits over top of my Chato, grows it nicely. So yeah, loving how this turned out. Super quiet now. Just hear a little bit of the gurgling, which that is a nice kind of added bonus. I'm getting a little aeration going on with that overflow in that first chamber, so kind of one of the perks. But that's a final view. Alright, this is Cue Ball, Cue Ball's Reef. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, always looking for new subscribers. Catch you on the next one.